I saw them on Facebook of children in cages, and then they realized, oh, oops, these are pictures from 2014 during the Obama administration. So instead of backing off on that, they just went crazy over it and just said, oh, this is all Trump. Well, the president put out a no tolerance policy. That means we're not going to do catch and release, because so many of these people during catch and release, you come to the border, and as we talked about, not at the port of entry. You come across the border. Most of them were not with their families. Now, what parent would do that for their children? Leave their children to go with someone that's potentially human trafficking, and they'd go off they'd go off into the interior of the country, either alone with a human trafficker, or they would never show up for their hearing, and then they became illegal immigrants throughout the country. What President Trump is saying, we want you to get a expedited proceeding, and that's the bill I signed on to. And some people, fiscal conservatives, don't like it. Ted Cruz is a co-sponsor in the Senate. David Bratton and a number of people are co-sponsors in the House. And what it does is saying you've got to go as quickly as possible, come up with a solution for these people at the border. So we either decide if they're genuine asylum seekers or they're people that need to be deported or coming over illegally, or they're children with that are victims of human trafficking, which, by the way, all this vilification of ICE officials. There was recently, I don't know if you saw, one of the ICE officials helped and saved a 6-year-old who was in the hands of a human trafficker. So these people that work for ICE are not all terrible people. There's some good people that work for ICE that are trying to enforce our borders. So that's why I co-sponsored that bill. Nobody wants to see the families separated. No one wants to see children separated from their parents. But the reality of it is that the president acted immediately by doing an executive order. Our bills haven't been passed because we can't come up with a solution that we can get the Senate to pass or even get enough people in the House side. So the president saw that, and he went right in and did an executive order, and they're trying to implement that now, and they're having some problems. But let's give them a chance to try to bring this together and make the policy right. I think there's just an awful lot of, seizing on this.
Well, the president said, I solved the problem now. A lot of people are going to be happy, but now he punted it to the Congress. But you guys got to make it.
Well, he did solve the problem, but ultimately we do have to solve the problem. That's what he's saying. I mean, so now they're having some complications trying to make it work. All of a sudden you need resources, you need money. And that's what our bill does, which we haven't passed, is give the resources through appropriations. Part of the new immigration bill had appropriations with it, which it didn't have in the past. Appropriations meaning giving the money so that they can actually do something to help put Border Patrol on and help with this.
Claudia, just hang on for one second. We'll come back. We'll discuss that a little more, and I'm sure there are a few other topics we can get into.
I did get a text message here from
Perfect. 624-0870 is the number to reach us, 624-0870. The text line, 623-0373. Congresswoman Claudia Tenney in studio with us. It's the talk of the town.
Broadcasting from the Bank of Utica studio. Talk 100.7 FM is WUTQ Utica. This is the CBS World News Roundup, presented by TheraWorks Relief.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Firefighters are hoping cooler weather and rain in some places will help them get a handle on dozens of wildfires burning in the West. One of the largest is in southern Colorado, where more than 100 homes have been destroyed and 2,000 others evacuated.
Oh, my God. It's going right towards the town. These flames are like 300 feet tall.
KCNC TV's Jeff Todd is in Eagle County.
Joni Haggerty and Mick Shuddick packed their cars.
I've lived here about 40 years, and it's so dry. We knew that if anything caught, it would start to go right away.
They finally evacuated.
The wind had started blowing up towards our house, so it was obvious it was time to leave.
Helicopters doused the flames, and air tankers laid down retardant. This is the third time in the past decade fire has come close to their home.
A wildfire near Sacramento, California is threatening hundreds of buildings. And in Utah, Ron Curry is watching crews try to contain flames rolling toward a popular fishing reservoir southeast of Salt Lake City.
The helicopters finally came in and put a good wet line around it. Every time I see them make a good drop, it's good drop.
Heavy rains bring heavy flooding to parts of Houston, submerging roads and highways. Jose Figueroa helped rescue a family of 5 stranded in their car.
It was very scary, I have to admit, because you yourself, you're concerned for your own safety. You're concerned for the safety of the children and everybody involved. And you don't know what else could be in that water.
A woman who scaled the base case of the Statue of Liberty is scheduled to make an appearance in federal court in New York this morning. CBS's Laura Podesta.
Patricia Okumau faces several charges, including trespassing and disorderly conduct. Her friends say they don't know if her decision to climb was spur of the moment or a decision she made in advance.
The woman had been part of a group protesting immigration policy. Emergency workers in Thailand working quickly to pump water from a flooded cave where 12 boys and their soccer coach have been trapped for 13 days. CBS's Ben Tracy is outside.
Their preferred method of doing this is to get so much water out of the cave that you could simply put life jackets on these kids and kind of float them out, or at least float them through the sections that are flooded. The idea being they don't want these kids to have to die.
The lawyer who once said he'd take a bullet for the president has now erased traces of his former client from his digital life.
Michael Cohen's Twitter profile previously featured a picture of him standing at a lectern with the Trump campaign logo. His bio read he was the personal attorney to the president. Not anymore. The change comes days after Cohen told ABC, if forced to choose, his family will get his first loyalty. Stephen Portnoy, CBS News, Washington.
This is CBS News.
To prevent and relieve muscle cramps in your legs and feet, use TheraWorks Relief. Get TheraWorks Relief today at select Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid pharmacies or TheraWorksRelief.com.
This is a special announcement for all Americans who owe back taxes to the IRS or state. Pay attention. There's a special toll-free hotline set up especially for you. This hotline will give you free information on how you can legally reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call the taxpayer hotline today at 800-441-1943. Grab a pen or put the number in your cell phone. 800-441-1943. You'll speak with qualified professionals who tell you how to stop the collection calls, IRS letters, bank levies, and wage garnishments. And they'll deal directly with the IRS on your behalf, so you don't have to.